Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next edition of my Top 10 series. And before we get started on today's topic, I just want to take this moment to say thank you guys very much for the positive reception that was given in the last Top 10 video when I did my Top 10 favorite Hell in a Cell matches. The reception and the positivity was very much appreciated by me, and that's why I thought to myself I would make this a common thing on my channel to do more Top 10s, because everybody wants to know more about me and what I like in the forms of wrestling, media, music, video games, you name it. And let's kick things off, because today's topic is my top 10 favorite TLC matches in hype to the upcoming TLC pay-per-view that's taking place this Sunday on the WWE Network. It's taking place in the location of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I'm just going to go ahead and say right now to those who are asking me, well, yes, I did attend Hell in a Cell a few weeks ago. No, I am not attending TLC. I'm not going down to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Sorry, guys. Hope that clears things up. But anyway, let's move on to my top 10 favorite TLC matches. And let's see, also another thing. People wanted to see pictures or video clips or something like that for these to make it a lot more entertaining. Well, not doing video clips, but I'm doing photos for you guys, so you guys can get like a visual of my favorites. Alright? I just hope that just makes things a lot more easier, because that's done in a lot of top 10 videos. Number 10 on my list is Jeff Hardy versus CM Punk at SummerSlam 2009. Now, this match was for the World Heavyweight Championship. Jeff Hardy was in his third reign, and he was put into a TLC match against CM Punk, who was getting his rematch for the title. And that match itself was really cool. Many surprising moments. One of my favorite moments, aside from the swanton off the top of that 25-foot ladder through the announce table, was the moment CM Punk gave Jeff a superplex right onto a ladder below. And that was one moment where I was like, oh my god, that's gotta freaking hurt. Match ends with Punk winning the match and the title, and I also set up the return of the Undertaker too. So that's number 10 on my list. Number 9 on my list is Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose at Tables, Ladders, Chairs, and Stairs, in other words, TLCS 2014. The first event, and so far the only event that was ever known as TLCS. So anyway, Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose in a TLC match. So many tables were destroyed, so many jumps off the ladder, and that was the second time that the TLC match was decided by pinfall or submission, just like a couple years previous, but I'll get to that later on in this video. By the end of the match, Dean Ambrose, like, stupidly decides to not unplug a monitor, and it blows up literally in his face, which I thought was one of the funniest things that happened in the match, and that's what caused Bray to take advantage and win. Number 8, AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose for the WWE Championship at TLC in 2016. That was at last year's TLC event. That match was well known mainly for a couple things. One of them being James Ellsworth interfering and turning heel and costing Dean the match and the title. And the other funny part everybody talks about is AJ Styles rips his pants. Yep, good times. I think almost everybody saw James Ellsworth turning heel that night, but it is one of my favorite matches to look back on. AJ Styles won and with the help of James Ellsworth and retained his championship. Number 7, Edge versus The Undertaker for the World Heavyweight Championship at One Night Stand Extreme Rules in 2008. This match was supposedly The Undertaker's last night. Like they say, if Undertaker lost, he'd be banished, in other words, fired from the WWE. He actually lost too. One of my favorite moments had to be the end of the match, where Undertaker's about to get the title and Edge pushes him off, and he goes crashing through not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 tables. Like two sets of 2 tables on the outside of the ring. It was like a really extreme moment. So the Undertaker's arm was bleeding as well throughout that. Edge won the championship, supposedly ended the Undertaker's career. But of course they had a Hell in a Cell match at SummerSlam a couple months later, so no harm done. Number 6 is CM Punk versus The Miz versus Alberto Del Rio in a TLC match for the WWE Championship at the 2011 TLC pay-per-view event. This was the first pay-per-view title defense of CM Punk's 434-day reign as WWE Champion. So much chaos between those 3 competitors. CM Punk got handcuffed to the turnbuckle, but he actually unhooked turnbuckles so that he could actually free himself. And that actually worked to his advantage to be able to continue the match and eventually retain the championship. And what's funny about it is John Cena does the same thing a couple years later in his match with Randy Orton, where he gets handcuffed. He decides to unhook the turnbuckle like Punk did. Only problem was he still had the rope attached to him. So that was a fail. Number 5 took place on SmackDown in 2001. Edge and Christian versus the Hardy Boys versus Dudley Boys versus Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit. Yeah, I said Chris Benoit. What are you going to do about it, huh? It was a fatal 4-way TLC match for the tag team titles. I believe it was, what was it, the 4th TLC match in existence? Or I don't know if it was the 3rd or the 4th. I got to look back up. I got to look it up again. One of my favorite moments had to be the Walls of Jericho on Edge, on like the ladders and everything. That was hell of a torture from seeing that. And I still remember that. Like, I was watching that in like 2001, and I was like, what, 5 years old or something like that? Alright, number 4 on my list is Edge versus John Cena for the WWE Championship at Unforgiven 2006 in my hometown of Toronto. There's like so many moments in there where I was like, this is one of the coolest TLC matches I've seen in a long time. It culminates with Edge taking the FU off the top of the ladder through 2 tables, and that's what allowed John Cena to go ahead and win the championship. I was rooting for Edge the whole time because, well, Toronto, baby. It was a shame that Edge did not win, but still, it was a cool match. It was a really hell of a one, and it definitely made the top 5 of my list. Number 3 on my list is the first ever TLC match, shockingly. It took place at SummerSlam 2000. It was Edge and Christian versus Dudley Boys versus Hardy Boys. The 3 originators, of course, obviously. For the tag team titles. Just imagine what it must be like for the guys to see, like, Hardy Boys were the ladder guys, Edge and Christian were the chair guys, Dudley's were, of course, you know, get the frickin' tables. To combine all that together, to create the first one-of-a-kind match, tables, ladders, and chairs, it's history in the making, and it was. These guys literally wrote the books on the TLC match. They're the masters. And even sometimes the masters don't always win, i.e. Hardy Boys. They've actually never won a TLC match, shockingly. But yeah, it shockingly wasn't number one on my list, but because there's a couple more TLC matches that I believe, in my opinion, were a little better. But this one definitely ranked at least number 3. Number 2 on my list, The Shield versus Ryback and Team Hell No from the 2012 TLC event. This match is kind of similar to what's coming up this upcoming Sunday when The Shield is taking on, well, 5 competitors, which actually includes Kane. Wow. So it's kind of ironic that in the Shield's debut match, one of their opponents was Kane, and in their return match in 2017, one of their opponents is Kane. In the same type of match at the same pay-per-view event. Only difference is it's taking place in October, not December. So there's like chaos on the inside of the ring, chaos on the outside of the ring. A lot of cool-ass shit going on here, a lot of cool-ass shit going on over there. Tables breaking over here, chairs getting smashed over there, ladders crashing over here. And one moment where it really made me, oh my god, because when Ryback tossed Seth Rollins off the ladder and Seth hit his head off one of the tables that did not break, there was like a couple sets of 2 tables, one set of 2, another set of 2. He went through one of those sets and missed the other 2. Hit his head really hard, and I was like, oh my god, that's definitely going to leave a big mark. And now, ladies and gentlemen, number 1 on my playlist of my top 10 favorite TLC matches, my number 1 favorite TLC match of all time. You probably guessed this one. Dudley Boys versus Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian at WrestleMania 17 in 2001. Now, despite the fact this was the sequel TLC match, literally because, well, it was the second TLC match, and of course the second one in a row to feature those 3 tag teams for the tag team title belts. Because I did not think that they'd be able to top their performance. Like, here's the cool thing. I actually watched their SummerSlam TLC match before I watched the sequel at WrestleMania. But everybody, of course, remembers the memorable spear, one of the best spears that Edge has ever done, in my opinion. Spearing Jeff Hardy off the title belts like 20, 25 feet in the air and crashing down into the ring below. And that was, holy shit, one of the best WrestleMania moments I've ever seen. It still is to this very day. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that was my top 10 favorite TLC matches, and WWE TLC is coming up this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 Pacific, on the WWE Network at Minneapolis, Minnesota. Obviously, I Either tickets maybe sold out, I don't know, but okay, no, why am I promoting it like that? Once again, thanks for the positive reception for these top 10 videos. I hope you like the additional photos that I put in to make this a lot more fun. Once again, put down in the comments what you would like to see in future top 10 episodes. And do not forget to be optimistic, show your optimism, and think optimistically. I'm Christian Maracle, voice of Cinema Since 2 Expansion, and leader of the Optimistic Army. You guys are the Optimistic Army, the best fans in the world. Always remember that. Love you guys very much. You've always been there to support me. Let's continue our big road to 100,000 subscribers. We're getting closer. We're just a little over 18,000 remaining. Let's do it. Let's do everything we can to get there.